Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you 5 youngsters I believe will have a breakout or breakthrough season in the 24-25 Premier League season. So many young talents, but only 5, and it's gonna be tough to choose 5, but let's see how it goes. First, I went with Amad Diallo. We have seen how good he is. Personally, he might have been too good for Sunderland. I personally think he had a pretty good season at Sunderland in terms of stats. He had 39 matches played, 14 goals and 3 assists. That's pretty decent for a right winger. He loves to cut inside on his left foot and shoot in near post, as we have seen in the preseason matches for Manchester United. He has already scored a goal like that in preseason. Ahmad does deserve a spot, in my opinion, in that right wing spot in Manchester United, especially with Anthony really being like too good and not in the best form at the moment, and Sancho has just returned to Manchester United, but he could be making his way out to possibly PSG. So it's tough to say if Sancho will get a chance under Ten Hag, but Amad Diallo is only 22 years old as well, so very young and talented winger. I believe this season is the perfect season, nearly perfect season, to just put him in that right wing spot and see how he does. I believe he will have a very good season, and I believe this season he will have his breakout and debut season at Manchester United. Now, the second player I went with is Ethan Nwaneri. We have heard a lot about this man from Arsenal, coming through from the academy. Very talented and gifted midfielder, carries the ball very well, protects it well when a player is coming towards him, and I just think Arteta will give him some game time this season. He already has gave him some game time in the preseason matches, and he's been looking very, very good and very comfortable on the ball. Passing ability is very good, and his dribbling, he just loves to take on players from the midfield, and that's kind of a player that Arsenal need, in my opinion, as Odegaard doesn't really do that, like taking on his players too much. And I believe Arteta should give him some game time, whether that's in the Premier League, in cups, or other games as well. I think he definitely will get some game time, and I would say he is a technically gifted midfielder. Nwaneri would 100% benefit from some game time in the senior team. I think he does deserve it after what he has been doing in the academy team. Like, he has some very nice close control when carrying the ball. That is quite huge for a midfielder. He kind of reminds me of Wilshere when he used to play for Arsenal. Nwaneri is very good at keeping that ball close to his feet, and in terms of passing, like, his passes are pretty accurate as well. Nwaneri is a player, as I mentioned before, who loves to take on players. For a midfielder, that is pretty good and could suit Arsenal's style of play, as Odegaard doesn't really take on too many players. So Nwaneri, if he does get into that left center mid position, I think he would play. That would be very good for him and very good for the team. Now, in terms of the third player that I think will have a breakout season, it's going to be Morgan Rogers. This guy was signed last season by Aston Villa. When he got his chance to play a bit, he showed his quality. A very good ball carrier, can take on players as well. Passing is quite good as well. I believe his usual position is around that cam role, and I was actually very surprised at how well he adapted and how quickly he adapted to Aston Villa. It's very impressive, and so many Villa fans and other fans as well are hyping him up a lot. And I mean, I get it, because we have seen small glimpses of him from the last season when he got some game time, but I believe this season he will get more game time and possibly become a starter. So one of the best youngsters at Aston Villa, Morgan Rogers is at only 22 years old, and I think he will ball out this season. He has showed how good he is taking on players passing, has that height to him in the midfield as well, so hopefully we see him pop off this season. Now, the fourth player I went for is Emil Smith-Rowe. Obviously, we all know him from Arsenal. He is a quite talented player, a player who came through the ranks at Arsenal. He came from the Arsenal Academy into the first team. Unfortunately, injuries have kind of stopped him from getting some game time, as well as other players being brought in, like Odegaard was brought in from Real Madrid, and that was a very good transfer for Arsenal. Very solid. Like, he's been absolutely incredible. I believe that kind of stopped Smith-Rowe from getting some game time, which kind of sucks quite a bit, but I believe he started his career at the left wing position, and then he got moved into the cam role, into the center, where he plays very well and where he plays currently, and he now has made the transfer to Fulham for around £32 million, and he already scored his debut goal 7 minutes into preseason, so he's showing how good he is when he gets game time. He shows what he could do. I hate to see him go, but it's what's best for his career, as he wasn't getting the game time at Arsenal, and he definitely will get into the Fulham starting 11 in my opinion. So good luck to Smith-Rowe. Thank you for everything he's done at Arsenal. Now, the fifth final player I believe will break through in the Premier League season, this upcoming season, is Fabio Carvalho. He already has had a very good preseason with Liverpool, scoring the incredible goal against Arsenal where Elliott just chipped it over and Fabio Carvalho just drilled it with a volley. That was a very impressive goal, and I believe they kind of need that cam type player, even though they have Sabolasai. But Fabio Carvalho, he has showed how good he is last season. Last season he was on loan in the Championship and he popped off, so now Arne Slot has seen how good Fabio Carvalho is, and he is a very young player but very talented. He can do everything from the cam position, pushes forward passes, can score goals as well. Just very talented player. He hasn't had the chance to break through into the first team, especially when Klopp was there, because Klopp had Sabolasai come in last season. Obviously, he had his main midfield when it was Fabinho, Wijnaldum, and kind of Henderson. He wasn't able to break through, but this season, Arne Slot will give some young players some game time or a go in the starting 11, and we have already seen a promising preseason from Carvalho. Hopefully, he continues this very good form. Like, he's a very talented player. I'm a big fan of him. So hopefully Arne Slot continues to trust him in that cam role, and hopefully Carvalho pops off for Liverpool. Now, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to drop a like. Comment down below your 5 players who you think will break through in the Premier League season. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.